Their seats and we can get started with this glorious event that we've been waiting for so long. Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you. I am Frank Cardenas. I am the Executive Director of the Pasadena City College Foundation. I have the privilege of kicking our program off this afternoon with an introduction of our college superintendent and president, Dr. Jose Gomez. Now, I realize that a conventional introduction would revolve around a recitation of Dr. Gomez's countless achievements as a college and university administrator. However, we know that Dr. Gomez is anything but a conventional leader, and so instead, let me call our attention to something that I think is still probably very difficult for many of us in this room. It was 17 weeks ago today that we came to understand that the Eaton fire was indeed going to devastate our beloved community and forever change the lives of countless PCC students, faculty, and staff. But we rose to the occasion with vigor and determination. We were there for each other, and we were there for the community that we are privileged to serve. In doing so, we really just stayed in keeping with our institutional values. But more than that, we answered a call from our president to serve, and so we did. You know, it's said that a great leader knows the way, goes the way, and shows the way. Dr. Gomez is such a leader, and that is why we are privileged to have his guidance as PCC steps into the second century of service. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being here. Our college leader, Dr. Jose Gomez.
Thank you, Frank. Thank you for everything that you've done during the fires, after the fires, and that you continue to do. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm so pleased to welcome you to Pasadena City College on this very important and exciting occasion. I want to take a moment before I begin to recognize some special guests that are here with us today, some of whom you will be hearing from very soon. We are joined today by some of the members of our Pasadena City College Board of Trustees, and I want to just recognize them. If you could just stand up. We have our board president, Alton Wong, is here. We have our board clerk, Ryan Liu, is here. And we have trustee James Aragon also here. Trustee Aragon's district is actually one of the districts that has been most impacted by the fires, and he's been doing a tremendous job representing the students and families in that community. So extra special thanks to you, Trustee Aragon. We are also deeply, deeply honored to have our chancellor here today, Dr. Sonia Christian. Can you just stand up and say hello there? She traveled all the way here from Sacramento to be here with us today, and I know that she had events in the morning in Sacramento, so it's a very challenging day, and we appreciate that you're here with us for this event. We also have representatives from the Foundation for the California Community Colleges that are also here, and there are lots of you here. Can you just stand up, and we want to thank you. We're back there. We're grateful for your presence here today, and of course, we have our biggest champions, our PCC Foundation Board of Directors who are here. So anyone who is either on the board currently, an advisor, or has ever served on the board, can you, if you could please stand and be recognized, we'd appreciate that. We appreciate your engagement in our work. And of course, thank you all for being here and taking part of this very special occasion. This evening comes as a capstone to what is without question an extraordinary year. And I mean that in every sense of the word. After all, we began our academic year this year by celebrating our centennial. Many of us were able to participate in a community birthday party with also a massive cake. We remember that. It was right here at Pasadena City College, where we celebrated our 100-year anniversary. And it's really, I think, important for us to reflect on why we're here today, and it's recognizing Ernie Posey. And Ernie Posey's recognition is significant because he's not only an amazing supporter of PCC, but he's also an alum of PCC. And I just learned from Ernie that we have 2 generations of Poseys that are PCC alums. His son is also here. Can you please? Yeah, there he is. And I believe you have another son that's also a PCC alum. So that makes Ernie and his family a part of our history. And his history is a history of resilience in the face of adversity as well. Ernie will tell you that when he came to PCC, he wasn't the Harvard graduate and successful businessman that he became. He was really a different person after he left PCC. PCC was so transformative for him that he was able to transfer to Harvard College, and then he came back to his community of Pasadena, and grew a very, very successful business. There are many parallels in the history of Pasadena, City College, and Ernie. After the First World War, not that you were around back then, I'm just saying, this is a story about resilience, not about longevity. But we all, the campus has been here for 100 years. After the First World War and after the first great pandemic, remember, there was a pandemic that started in the late 19-teens, I guess we call it, and into the early 1920s. This community, Pasadena, came together and they committed to building an extraordinary region. Some of the most important and impactful cultural institutions in this region came about from that sort of civic energy and pride. The Rose Bowl, the Pasadena Museum of History, the Pasadena Central Library, the Pasadena Playhouse, and of course, Pasadena City College in 1924. Then, less than a decade after we opened, Southern California was rocked by the Long Beach earthquake. This earthquake shook our campus to its very foundations, destroying buildings and forcing us to adapt in the aftermath. While the college reconstructed and rebuilt, our faculty and students, if you can believe this, held classes in tents right on the college lawn on Colorado, where the Rose Parade passes every January 1st. Although our college had been through a disaster, we picked up and we rebuilt. I'm sure you can understand how history is now repeating itself. And now, as then, we will also rebuild. Since the Eaton Fire, our students, faculty, and entire community have faced enormous hurdles. We're still facing them today, and that's what keeps us going. As it has always, the strength of our community and our partnerships are what has kept us going. There is no other way to say it. We would not be standing here today if it weren't for the partners like Ernie Posey and the statewide Community College Foundation. We would not be here in this room if it wasn't for our partners and the people who stood up and lent a hand in 2025. It simply would not have been possible for us to make it through. Our chancellor, from the very first day, has been engaged with this community. She has been helping, she has been very nurturing, and she has been incredibly supportive in Sacramento, helping us get through this. Our philanthropic community, it was the Foundation for California Community Colleges, which provided us with, I think it was the very first gift of support for this community. And it wasn't just for our students, it was for this entire community, for the neighborhoods, for the families, for Altadena, Pasadena, and Sierra Madre. So we are very thankful for that partnership. And all of our friends and neighbors, the members of our foundation, our school board, our city officials, our county officials, everyone, our community helped us get through. You all stepped up and helped make us whole, and for that we will be eternally grateful, and I want to give you all a big hand. I'm also pleased to report that our work is not complete. I'm not going to spend a lot of time tonight going into detail, but we are hard at work building the infrastructure and developing the resources we need to meet our responsibilities to rebuild this community. And we're going to do it with your support, with the support of Ernie, our chancellor, and all of our friends in the community and throughout the state of California. There are lots of exciting things in store, and I can't wait to share that with you at a future date. But that story is for another time. Tonight, we're here to celebrate one of the most important partnerships in PCC's history, our relationship with Ernest Posey and the Posey Family Foundation. I want to just ask, if I may, Ernie, if your family can just stand up to be recognized, please. Mr. Posey is not just a donor with a vision and a kind heart. He has made his commitment a personal investment in time and treasure, a partnership with our students as they proceed through their studies. He's a living example of PCC's history, and not just because he's an alum. Ernie's involvement with the college picks up on one of the strongest threads of our history, one that we trace to the very first days of our existence. When it was founded 100 years ago, PCC's nursing program, don't know if you knew this, Ernie, PCC's nursing program, and you weren't around then either, okay? PCC's nursing program was the first 2-year nursing program, not just in the state, but the first in the nation. It was the first program that we founded here at PCC. PCC was one of the first places in this country where caring people found a path to service in this vital profession of nursing. Today, thanks to Ernie and his family, our nursing students continue this tradition of excellence and service. You're going to hear from some of our students tonight about how Ernie's work resonates with them and throughout our community. I want to mention that the day of the fires, the night of the fires, when I spoke to the mayor of Pasadena and I asked him, "What do you need?" He said, "You know, we only have 3 nurses at the convention center. Do you have any nurses? Can you send some nurses?" I called our dean. 26 students, faculty, and alum nurses immediately made it to the convention center and served there for probably a week and a half, volunteering their time in support. And Ernie, I think that's why you chose to support our nursing program. So years from now, when we look back and tell our story, we're going to tell the story of a community that came together to help see one another through with creativity to build back stronger than before. We are so grateful to the support of our friends and neighbors as we chart this course into the future. I want to thank everyone who has made PCC's centennial, and this year in particular, the extraordinary journey it has been. But most importantly, Ernie, thank you for being an inspiration to our students and our college. We are so, so glad to celebrate you tonight. And now it is my pleasure to invite Ann Paul King to share some thoughts in her role as president of the Network of California Community College Foundations. Ann?
Good evening. What a pleasure. What a pleasure. Not only am I the president of the Network of California Community College Foundations, I'm also the executive director of the Ventura College Foundation. So I'm honored to be in your shop today. And also I'm honored to be in your old shop, Bobby Abrams, because you are the most recent executive director here at PCCC. PCC? We had a lot of C's in the community college system. So anyway, thank you so much, President Jose Gomez, because where did you go? There you are. Thank you so much for your comments. I really appreciate you sharing. They resonate deeply with me. 7 years ago, the Ventura community was hit hard by the Thomas Fire, and we had our own story. And I appreciate so much the hard work that your community is doing together with your partners, philanthropic and otherwise, to get through this time. It's hard to describe the work every day that happens to pull a community together and pull that community forward. So thank you for your hard work to this entire community. Today we honor, and the word celebrate has been used many times already, to celebrate you, Ernie Posey, and your beautiful family, the Posey family, through the Posley Family Foundation. We do that because of your outstanding support that has been described of Pasadena City College, your alma mater. We're so proud as a system when our alumni come back and become leaders. And I know that, I know how special that is, and I'm just incredibly grateful for you. You have been given this honor because you also elevate giving to the California Community College system. I come from a private college background in terms of as being a fundraiser, and in my mind there is no reason, absolutely no reason, that the power of philanthropy at the community college system should not be just as strong as we see in those four-year colleges. In fact, I would argue that it needs to be stronger because of the impact that this system makes on our country. And in California, we have 2 million community college students. And we have 9 million community college students in the nation. What we do in California changes the nation. And we are examples not just in this state, but across this nation. We have solved so many issues through the community college system, and these are tried and true things. We know, for example, we know how to solve poverty. We've been doing in this country for, at least at Pasadena City College, for 100 years. And that's through higher education. And to have equal access, higher education, is essential to the health of our economy, both locally and statewide and nationally. What we do is critically important for the welfare of all of our citizens. It is the responsibility of the network of California Community College Foundations to champion the role of philanthropy, which is why we are here today, to honor a champion. We do this because of the needs of our students and our faculty and our college community as a whole, and the communities they serve. We want to be a pathway to exemplary student success. We want to provide a world-class, highly educated workforce through that work. We're a member-driven, this network of California Community College Foundations is a member-driven, statewide professional peer association, and we're dedicated to advancing philanthropy in all of our community colleges. We represent about 70 community colleges across the state, of which there are community college foundations, of which there are about 90 out of our 116 colleges in this state, community colleges. Part of our work and responsibility is to bestow the Bernard Osher Philanthropist of the Year Award on an annual basis to an individual, corporation, or nonprofit organization that demonstrates a commitment to philanthropy and who is a role model. This is the highest and most prestigious award that is bestowed upon anyone in the philanthropic community from the California Community College system. And you are far more than worthy of this award. Why is this important? I think we all have our stories. If you're in this room, then you know why it's important for you. I'll tell you why it's important for me. Graduates from community colleges earn about $11,000 more annually than graduates from those who come from the high school system. So when you come from a high school in this state, and you come through our community college system, whether that's a certificated program or through, to get an AA degree or an AS degree or a nursing degree, that means that you will, on average, be able to earn about $53,000 a year, as opposed to workforce jobs that for high school graduates, and that average is about $36,000 a year. That's significant. That changes our economy in those communities that we serve. Mr. Posey, you and your family support this kind of transformation in students' lives with your philanthropy. You partner with hardworking students. You inspire and empower them, and in turn, they are improving their lives and the lives of their family. And therefore, their generations to come in their families and the communities in which they serve. These students, like you, give back. They contribute to the well-being of our community and improve the quality of life for all of us. And that is what you have done, and that is what you are doing, and your family is doing as well. That's extraordinary. So it is, I'm here as the president of our board of directors. We have a few people here I want to acknowledge who also are here to honor you from our board of directors. Our vice president of the Network of California Community Colleges, Rico Guerrero, who is from State Center. He's also the executive director of State Center Community College District from Foundation and traveled here to see you today and honor you. We have Kirsten Acosta is here, who was on our board of directors. And she is from the Victor Valley College Foundation, executive director there, coming here to honor you. Philanthropy is among the best strategies we have for increasing social and economic mobility, addressing long-standing inequalities in our communities, and ensuring that all members of our community have access to life-changing higher education. Mr. Posey, you and your family passionately understand this. It is our privilege to celebrate you today with this award, and I thank you deeply for who you are and what you have done. So we have other people that want to speak in your honor, and I am delighted to introduce you to the leader of the network's powerful partner and fiscal sponsor. This is the uncompromising and wonderful president and chief executive officer for the Foundation of California Community Colleges, Keitha Mills.
Thank you, Ann. Boy, you're a hard act to follow, my friend. That was amazing. Gosh, thank you all for being here with us today to recognize and celebrate Ernie Posey and the Posey Family Foundation for your meaningful generosity and really your deep commitment to Pasadena City College. I also want to recognize a couple of other VIPs that we have with us. I'm going to start. My boss is here, so Dr. Manuel Baca, who is on the board of directors for the Foundation for California Community Colleges. He has a long list of accolades, but I'm going to say the most important one is serving on the foundation board. So thank you for your service. I also want to acknowledge the Osher Foundation, who is the name that inspired this award, the Bernard Osher Philanthropist of the Year, Mary Bitterman is here with us. She wasn't able to be here in person, but I understand that she is listening and watching on live stream. So hello, Mary. Thank you for being here with us, and I hope that we continue to make Mr. Osher proud with a long line of wonderful supporters of the California Community Colleges that we recognize through this award. Bernard Osher actually received the inaugural Bernard Osher Philanthropist of the Year award, and he made history with the largest gift ever made to a community college system in 2008. His gift established a permanent statewide scholarship endowment that now totals nearly $100 million, impacts thousands and thousands of students across our state, and helps really students achieve their educational goals and economic mobility for both them and their families. And so this statewide scholarship program is one of many things that we do at the foundation. Another initiative that you've heard about that I'm really, really proud of is our statewide wildfire disaster relief fund. We've heard a lot about the impacts of the fire here at Pasadena City College. There were numerous campuses that were impacted as a result of that fire, and we were really honored to be able to help both raise money at the statewide level and distribute money to provide immediate support to our students and faculty and staff and community members, and really proud that we were able to provide Pasadena City College with nearly $250,000 to help their students, their faculty and staff. And that, again, was a result of just this tremendous outpouring of support from our communities, both in California and outside of California. People were watching the horrific scenes on the news and wanted to do something to help, and knew that the California Community Colleges was a place that could really make an impact. I know Pasadena City College became the hub for for the community, not only they were here for their students and faculty and staff, but they were here for their community far and wide. And our gift to Pasadena City College Foundation was really made possible by a very generous gift from the J. Pritzker Foundation, who was also a previous recipient of this award. So you're in very good company of amazing philanthropists that really know and understand the power of the California community colleges. So I want to thank President Gomez also for your leadership in this work through thick and thin, and for really being an amazing leader in your community and throughout the state. So these stories that I share really speak to the power and impact of philanthropy and why philanthropy matters, and the difference that it makes when people open their hearts and give to our California community colleges. And it's people like Bernard Osher, it's people like Dan and Karen Pritzker, it's people like Ernest Posey and his family, each of whom have been recognized by this incredible award, and who inspire all of us to do this work to ensure that our communities and our students have the resources and the supports they need to achieve both their educational and career goals. So thank you. I know you make a huge impact in your community, and we appreciate the commitment. I know you are so proud to be an alumni of Pasadena City College, and it really shows, and we very much appreciate you. So with that, it is now my distinct honor to introduce someone who really needs no introduction, the fearless leader of the largest institution of higher education in the nation, Dr. Sonia Christian, Chancellor of the California Community Colleges.
Good afternoon. So I'm always happy to be here at Pasadena City College. I think President Gomez, the last time that I was here, the president had pulled together community leaders and was sharing with the team from the Chancellor's Office and our Board of Governors about the work that was happening in the community. And my God, he's just a powerful artist, the way he described the work that was happening with words and with visuals, that I went back to our Sacramento Board of Governors meeting and had President Jose Gomez beam in to share part of the story, so the board could hear directly from him the work that is happening in one of our gems in the California community colleges. So really happy to be here. And I want to give it up one more time for the president of the Foundation of the California Community Colleges, a woman who's quiet but works tirelessly to bring resources to our 2.1 plus million students, Keitha Mills. And you know, I was talking to Anne, who coordinates the network of community colleges, foundations, and I said, you know, Anne, it must be like, you know, wrangling and herding cats. And she goes, absolutely not. You know, the foundation board of directors are so committed and put in a lot of work to make sure that they're telling the story of the community colleges. So when I arrived in the United States as an immigrant and international student in math at USC, there were two things that struck me. One was the California community colleges, okay, or the concept of community colleges, and the culture of philanthropy in this country. American philanthropy, and you've got to see it through the eyes of an immigrant, right? So American philanthropy is in a league of its own. Giving in America isn't just a habit, it's practically a national sport. In 2022 alone, Americans gave away $499 billion, which amounts to more than 2% of our GDP. Most other countries don't even crack 1%, which either means we are extremely generous or we have a great tax deduction structure. Seriously, there is a generosity of the American spirit that captivated me right from hello. From bake sales to billion-dollar foundations, our Girl Scouts, the GoFundMe emails that we all receive to support a family or a friend in dire need speaks to that spirit of philanthropy. It is typical for countries to lean on their government for social good. But in the United States, what sets us apart, you see I already say us apart as an immigrant, is often individual donors stepping up, like you, Ernie Posey, funding vaccines, climate work, scholarships, big-hearted, big-spirited, and readily opening up the wallet. This is American philanthropy. Now, the community colleges, I believe it's America's greatest democratic invention. We open doors where hope and ambition meet opportunity and where nobody needs a secret password. We welcome everyone, the high school graduates still figuring it out, the working parent juggling textbooks and toddlers, the veteran on a new mission, or an immigrant with a suitcase full of dreams and determination. Rooted in local communities, but launching global futures, we offer education with affordability and flexibility because not everyone can do calculus at 8 a.m. on a Tuesday. And you know what? During difficult times and times of conversations that seem to be more, divisive, the community colleges are a unifier. We bring people together and we make the impossible happen. We train nurses who save lives, technicians who keep the lights on, and teachers who spark curiosity. We are nimble, we are adaptable, we meet the moment, whether it is AI or Shakespeare. Community colleges are places of second and third chances. Community colleges are places of bold beginnings and the regular miracle that starts with, I never thought I could, but I did. And so here we are today at Pasadena City College, at the intersection of philanthropy and community colleges. In this intersection lies a sacred space, a quiet, forceful realm where generosity transforms into opportunity and hope becomes tangible. Here, the gift of donors breathe life into the aspiration of students who dare to dream beyond their circumstances. It is a place where a single scholarship can rewrite a family's history, where investment is in learning yields a harvest of human potential. Now, to the Bernard Osher Philanthropist of the Year Award, I actually got familiar with it when I was a president at a community college, and I can tell you, you said Mary was tuning in? Well, I can tell you that the name Osher lives in the lives of so many students across our system of California community colleges. The generosity transforms individual lives and ripples outward, strengthening families, neighborhoods, and entire regions. I'm really happy I got to meet you, Ernie Posey. And I asked you, what made you fall in love with community colleges? And you said it all happened here at PCC. You didn't really talk about your time at Harvard, but you talked about what happened here at PCC. And when I looked at your family, and where's the little one? Did she disappear? You know, and I saw your son lifting up your granddaughter. I was thinking that PCC is full of memories of people like you. You know, they're whispers, and they're shaping so many futures. And I'm sure that your granddaughter is going to be adding to those memories and whispers of the time that you were here at PCC. Let's all rise up for a moment and celebrate Ernie Osher. Go ahead.
The Network of California Community College Foundations is proud to present the 2024 Bernard Osher Philanthropist of the Year Award to Ernest Posey and the Posey Family Foundation. A proud alumnus of Pasadena City College, Ernest Posey credits the college for setting him on a path to success, leading him to graduate from Harvard University and build a distinguished career in the medical device industry. Ernest Posey's forward-thinking generosity has made him one of the largest donors in the college's history, giving to support future nurses like Haley.
I got into nursing because I wanted to help people. I felt like my work wasn't making as much of an impact as I wanted it to, so I made the decision to go back for another degree. Without my bachelor's, I wouldn't have the job I have now. I work on a bone marrow transplant floor with oncology patients. Without the Posey loan, I wouldn't be doing the work I'm doing now.
The Posey Low Interest Nursing Loan Program, launched in 2019, has already disbursed over $800,000 in microloans to 74 students, and the program continues to grow. The program has been expanded to support students in Pasadena City College's dental hygiene program.
So I was elated when I finally received a notice that I had been accepted into the Pasadena City program. I find it to be a very, very rewarding career. So that's why I chose nursing. I try to stay working while going to school full time, and I'm also a mom of 3 boys. So it is very difficult to do the life balance in which you still have to pay the bills, but you have to leave full-time work to go back to school and make that happen, make it for a better future.
Ernest Posey's generosity extends beyond the nursing field. It's an investment in potential, in future educators and healthcare workers, those who will give back to our communities for generations to come.
So I heard about the program through an email, and I went to an information meeting, and I just remember learning about it and feeling so relieved because it felt like something that made this all feasible for me. The Posey Loan Program really helped me, get through nursing school. There's no other way to say it.
Thanks to Ernest Posey's generosity, Pasadena Community College students are reaching milestones they once only dreamed were possible.
Because I'm a first-generation immigrant, so I learned English here from the ESL, and then I want to be a nurse to help more people. Also, I want to give my family, my kids, a better life in the future. Because of the Posey loan program, I can get my goal to become a nurse, and I can give back to the community in the future.
Ernest Posey's dedication to ensuring students succeed in their educational pursuits makes him a truly deserving recipient of the 2024 Bernard Osher Philanthropist of the Year Award.
I find it very admirable that he has been successful at his career, but yet has found it in his heart to come back and give to his community. So Mr. Ernie Posey, thank you very, very much. It has served me a big purpose in my career.
Mr. Posey, thank you so much. I am eternally grateful for all that you've done to help me get to where I am and being a registered nurse.
Mr. Posey, thank you so much for supporting me in my nursing journey. I'm so happy to say that now I'm a nurse. I work at a local hospital on the oncology floor, and I get to work as a nurse day in and day out and really help people.
I want to say thank you from bottom of my heart. Because of you, I can change my life as a first generation immigrant, and I can give my kids better life. Also, I can achieve my dream to become a nurse, and I hope one day I can help other people this way like you helped me.
Please join us in celebrating Ernest Posey and the Posey Family Foundation, the 2024 Bernard Osher Philanthropist of the Year.
Ernie, I wonder if you would join me on stage. I'm going to have you put your papers right here, and I'm going to have you stand right here so everyone can see you. As the president of the Network of California Community College Foundations, it is my distinct honor and privilege to present the award of the 2024 Bernard Osher Philanthropist of the Year Award to you, Ernie Posey, and your family, the Posey Family Foundation, for your demonstrated commitment to philanthropy and for serving as a role model to encourage giving at the highest level to the California community colleges. So, Mr. Posey, please accept this award as a symbol of our deep gratitude.
Thank you very much.
And our respect.
Thank you very much. Thank you all for coming. I'm very honored by your presence. I'd like to tell you some of the backstory behind the low-interest loan program. The idea was born in a conversation with Gene Gregg about the powerful opportunities that microloans were creating in the third world. He gave me a copy of the book, Banker to the Poor, by Mohammed Yunus, and I read it cover to cover. The thesis of the book is that if you give worthy and deserving people the opportunity to succeed, they will excel. With the news of the student debt crisis in all the newspapers, I decided that we were handcuffing our worthy and deserving students by drowning them in debt. How can our hardworking students get ahead if all of their income goes to paying off high-interest loans that can equal 18%? When I examined the student debt crisis, I found these problems. The Pell Grants weren't keeping up with rising tuition, forcing students to borrow more. The for-profit schools were enticing students to take on substantial debt with poor career prospects. And there was a lack of accountability in institutions participating in the federal student loan programs. At that point, Dennis Gertmanian and I hatched the idea of a perpetual low loan interest program that will solve all three of these problems. Our student loan program would pick up where the Pell Grants left off and give low interest loans of 2% versus the 18% that the commercial banks were charging. Money paid back to PCC would be loaned out to incoming students. All of our loans would go to worthy and deserving students who would graduate to good-paying jobs. And there would be accountability because PCC would select the students who are worthy and deserving and support them through to graduation. The PCC nursing school was an obvious place to start because it was full of motivated and talented students. However, there were many problems. First, PCC did not have experience or infrastructure to deal with the stringent regulatory requirements of granting loans. Since there was no other program like it in the United States, they had no model to copy. But Dennis Kurtmanian loves a challenge, and he wouldn't give up. For 2 years, he worked with Bobby Abrams, who's here with us tonight, and the PCC Foundation to overcome all of these obstacles. Finally, he came to me after all the hard work had been done and said the structure was in place. All they needed was money. However, a good idea is only the first step in a long journey. With the strong support of PCC President Dr. Jose Gomez, the PCC Foundation stepped up with Frank Cardenas leading the way, Chris McPeak administering the program, and until her retirement, Dr. Mary Lynn Aguirre motivating the students to excel in their studies. The result was that we now have over $800,000 out in nursing loans and have enough money on hand to expand the program to cover dental hygienists and someday, soon I hope, radiology, anesthesia techs, EKG, and telemetry. We are lucky to have Dr. Amy Carnes at the foundation now to help us with this expansion. Currently, every loan is being paid back on time so that the money can be loaned out to the next class of students. This contrasts with the federal student loan program, which currently has a 38% payback rate on $1.7 trillion of outstanding loans. To give you an idea how much a trillion is, if I started laying dollar bills out, it would take me 31,963 years to build a pile of $1 trillion, and that stack of $1 trillion would be 67,000 miles high. Our nursing school is also growing under the strong leadership of Dr. Micah Young and Dr. Jane Tsao. We have grown from 60 nurses per class to 180 per class, which means we will still soon have 540 nursing students in the program. All of our students will graduate and find high-paying jobs in the local hospitals because of the PCC gold standard reputation. We are very honored that the network of California Community College Foundations has recognized PCC. Statistics show the success of our community colleges. Community college and vocational students in their 20s have only a 2.1% unemployment rate, while four-year graduates have a 15.3% unemployment rate. We hope this award tonight will cause other schools to call us and duplicate our low-interest loan program. PCC stands ready to help on an institutional level, and I stand ready to help financially support other schools. We believe this should become the model to help students get their degrees without incapacitating debt. Thank you for coming and recognizing our student loan program and the great job that PCC is doing in our community. Thank you very much.
Ernie Posey, you are the best friend that Pasadena City College could ever hope for. You are the best friend that a community college student ever had. before we break and adjourn to our glorious reception outside, I would be remiss if I didn't once again, Ernie, suggest to you that you are in good stead because a number of people right after the fire, along with yourself, were very helpful to us at PCC. But I just want to double down in recognizing two amazing women who were there for PCC as soon as the devastation really came to materialize in our consciousness. First, we had a partner up in Sacramento who almost immediately, we now understand, was working the phones to raise money for a new wildlife fire fund. And PCC got $235,500 because Keitha Mills made it happen. Keitha, thank you so much. And our Chancellor, Sonia Christian, when Dr. Gomez called the Chancellor of the state system and said, I'd like you to come down to Pasadena so that we can explain to you, but we can also show you the devastation, but also the way that Pasadena City College is responding to the need. She was here, and she remains here, and her continuing support means everything to us. Thank you, Jose, for making that happen. Finally, I can't tell you, well, you all know, most of you know, I've known him longer than I, Bobby, what an amazing man Ernie Posey is. And the woman who is his pillar of strength, without question, the family knows this, Gunda Posey. Thank you so much for sharing your amazing husband with PCC for all these years. On behalf of trustees, Dr. Gomez, our amazing foundation board members, thank you all so much for being with us today in support of our students and honoring the person who is second to none in believing in our students. We have a reception for your enjoyment that we will adjourn to. Everyone who is a part of the program, if you would please come onto the stage and we'll take a few photos. Thank you so much, and thank you, Ernie Posey. Finally, this is all about the students. Ernie would be the first to say, our student trustee, Irene Wang, is here also. Thank you, everybody.